In the summer of 2022, I went on a trip to the United States to visit relatives and explore the country. I visited family in Boston, Washington, and Los Angeles, but I also stayed in hostels, doing some solo traveling in New York, Colorado, and San Francisco. I had worked at my local pub, saving up money to go on this big trip across America, visiting distant relatives on both the East and the West Coast, some of which I had never met before. I was born in America, so it was really rewarding to finally visit our family there and also explore what felt like a whole new world. During the times when I was travelling alone, I must admit, I often felt quite lonely. I had never done solo travelling before, and I had always thought I would be confident enough to meet new people and put myself out there. However, for most of the hostels I stayed in, this was not the case. I found myself too anxious and closed off to explore the cities with other people, so I often just did it alone. And while this was still very interesting, in the back of my mind, I couldn't help but feel like I wasn't integrating into these cities. It was like I was observing and not experiencing, being more like a tourist and not a traveller.
Well, no, it's because I've got bad sleep, I haven't exercised, I haven't meditated, I've been eating like shit. You know, if you watch all those things, then I'm sure that will help, and if you're constantly trying to do that, then...
In those times I got frustrated. I thought I could fix it with exercise and discipline, but what I really needed was connection. Which is why, when I returned to England, I became obsessed with this guy. Anthony Bourdain spent his whole life working as a chef in a busy New York City restaurant. He was a former addict. Work as a chef was taxing. Life wasn't easy. But after he released a book called Kitchen Confidential in May of 2000, revealing what life was really like as a chef, through brilliant writing, he gained instant fame. He soon had a travel show, first named No Reservations, and then Parts Unknown. Each episode of the show saw him explore a new place of the world, discovering what makes that place interesting and special by eating and discussing with locals. The show and he became beloved by foodies and travellers alike. He, to many, was the perfect traveller.
Be open to experience, be willing to try new things, don't have a rigid plan, accept random acts of hospitality without judgment or fear. Don't be afraid to wander, don't be afraid to eat a bad meal. You know, if you don't risk the bad meal, you'll never get the magical one. But I think most important, be humble, be grateful.
I became obsessed with him because I felt I could travel better than I had done in America. And I felt he showed the blueprint of how to do so. His willingness to sit and listen to anyone, to try any food, to respect any local custom. It's clear he had a fascination with the world that we can all learn from. He thought everyone had a story to tell. I love this outlook on life. One of his favourite cities was Hong Kong. So when the opportunity to go on an exchange at City became available, I felt I owed it to myself to give solo travelling another shot.
Hey! You'll get down, you're never running from this town. And I think you said you'll never get anything better than this.
So I have been in Hong Kong for about 3 months now, and I've absolutely loved it. So how has this experience been different from previous travel experiences? Now I am 2 years older than before. The difference between the ages of 20 and 22 feels huge to me. I feel much more comfortable in my own skin now. This has led me to be more confident socially and has allowed me to connect with people from all over the world who share a similar desire to get the most out of the unique opportunity that is an exchange in Hong Kong.
This time's the oldest friend of
The difference between sharing a cool experience and not is huge for me, I've realised. Happiness is only true when it's shared. Finding like-minded people has allowed me and my friends to encourage each other's desires to be good travellers, to be more curious, to ask questions, to not be afraid to try, to not be afraid to fail.
anything better than this. 'Cause we're always in small circles, and everyone thinks we're trouble.
So, good afternoon.
Afternoon,
Good evening.
evening, mangon, good.
So, afternoon, Good afternoon,
mangon.
Amazing, thank you, sir. The two factors of sharing cool experiences with others, putting lots of energy into building strong relationships, while also being really curious about everything that's going on around me. Having this outlook has made my time in Hong Kong so far one of the most rewarding and exciting things I have ever experienced. Excuse me, sir. How often do you get the ding ding? How often? Yeah, do you get it every day? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you live on Hong Kong Island or do you live in
Long Island.
You live in Hong Kong Island?
Yeah, but they are the big place. Yeah, but they'll be so I think the NPR.
Yeah. What are you doing today?